Hi, this is Terry Cronbaugh, and I will be doing my leadership book review on Judgment, How Winning Leaders Make Great Calls. And this book was written by Noel Tiki and Warren G. Bennis. The first author I was going to talk about is Noel Tiki. He is a doctor. He has served as head of General Electric Leadership Center, and he teaches at Columbia University Business School for 9 years. He was a professor of organizational behavior and human resource management at Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan. He's the head of a global leadership in healthcare program. He also conducts the Cycle of Leadership Executive Program at the University of Michigan. And he has served on multiple editorial boards, including the Academy of Management Review, Organizational Dynamics, the Journal of Business Research, and the Journal of Business Strategies. And this information was obtained as a speaker biography through worldcongress.com. The second author is Warren G. Bennis. He is a professor of business administration at Marshall School. He is the founding chairman of the Leadership Institute at the University of Southern California. He has been served as prior faculty at MIT and Sloan School of Management. He was prior faculty at Harvard University and Boston University. He was an infantry commander stationed in Germany at the age of 20. He has been a past president of the University of Cincinnati, and he has been a business consultant for multiple Fortune 500 companies and 4 presidents of the United States. And that information was found through Leadership Now. While I'm unfamiliar with these two authors, a quick web search does show that they're well known in the business world. The purpose of this book that the authors hope to reach was it examines the judgment process, the domains that can hinder the judgment process, characteristics of those with good judgment sense, and they help teach how to sharpen our own process of decision making and how to deal with difficult decisions in a business environment. The target audience for this book is mostly chief executive officers, executives, or any type of management. It's beneficial for anybody in a leadership position at any level. And anyone who makes decisions at any leadership level, from the head of household to coaches to the president, can benefit from enhancing their judgment skills. It's something we do on a daily basis. So the analysis of strengths and weakness for this book. The strengths, the authors give a lot of examples, and it helps, bring their points forward. They identify key characteristics of good leaders with strong judgment skills. Some of the characteristics are that they are teachers, they are self-aware, they're courageous, and committed learners for life. They also break down the challenges of decision making into 3 domains. And the 3 domains that we make the most judgments on are people, strategy, and crisis. And all 3 of these are something that leaders deal with frequently. The weaknesses I found in this book, it can be a bit tedious to read. It is long. There's a lot of analogies, a lot of talking about huge companies, but it seems to be based mostly from a CEO perspective or really high upper management perspective. It can be hard to kind of follow the real world examples because there's so many. I think it would be better if they could have narrowed it down to just a couple so that you could follow the storyline a little better. And they don't really get in, they talk about if leadership is, or if judgment is good, but that's somewhat subjective. Basically, if it's a good outcome, they call it a good judgment. But then, you would have to ask people, was the outcome good for all of them? So based on what judgment was made, it may not be good for all. So if it was poor for you, you might consider that a poor judgment. The objectives that the authors wanted to reach with this book that I discussed in the purpose were achieved. I do believe the authors were able to validate that judgment is a common activity. It deserves attention. It's an important skill that we could exercise and build due to its frequent use. It shares ways to enhance judgment skills, and identifies characteristics of successful leaders, which I discussed earlier. And the evidence is, obviously everybody makes judgments in their work, personal life, daily living. Improving your judgment abilities will benefit you in so many situations. Some of the things the authors recommend for leaders to do is be aware of the environment and clues of things that are going on and things that could come. Build strong relationships. They will pay off in the end for you. And have character and courage. And that is a common theme throughout the book, is building character and being a good character and being courageous and being willing to speak out and step forward. And they do talk pretty significantly about building a strong core of co-workers that you'll draw from throughout your entire career, and having strong insight into oneself. So, recommendation on whether or not to pursue reading this book. I would recommend the book based on how it helps to strengthen a leader's ability to make decisions. The suggestions that they make to improve your knowledge base include identifying your weaknesses, identifying your support persons, and being willing to be wrong. And that all helps make a better leader. The book is easy to understand regardless of what level of leadership you're in. Some of the stories are very interesting. I tended to lean towards the stories about Procter & Gamble because it's a local company that I know people who work there. And the authors identify judgment making as a process. They don't identify it as a single event that you do and then it's done. It's a process, and they discuss it in 4 stages of the decision process. The first being preparation, the second being decision making, and then executing what decisions were made, and then allowing for adaptation to those decisions, which is very similar to a change process. The references that I utilized for this PowerPoint included 2 information sites to find the information on the authors, as well as the book that I'm reviewing itself. Thank you so much.